have been killed in Israeli attacks over the past 24 hours. This was the scene in Rafah on Friday night. Well, with me now is Shehata from BBC Arabic. Saeed, can we just start off first with those negotiations, because everybody's going to be following this so closely. What is the common ground?
We hardly can find common ground. According to the Khalil al-Hayya, the deputy leader of Hamas, he said they received the Israeli response after a visit from security delegation of Israel to Egypt and Egyptian security delegation to Israel, and it's under study by Hamas. But there is a big difference between them. The proposal mainly about a temporary ceasefire, like exchange of some prisoners, Palestinian prisoners in Israeli prisons, in return for some elderly people and sick and women hostages in Gaza by Hamas. So there is exchange about 33 persons from those hostages in return for some prisoners and like some more aid and ceasefire. It's like mainly, but there is big difference between them. Like Hamas is still insisting that should be full withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza, should be aid to the all areas in Gaza, especially the north, because they have like problems in getting aid. In addition to that, will be like permanent ceasefire. Israel is against all of that, and still Mr. Netanyahu, according to reports from the cabinet war, there is some Mr. Netanyahu is against all of that because some of his coalition members, like the Minister of Finance, Bezalel Smotrich, said like any concession to Hamas would be a victory for Hamas, and this will not be acceptable. Mr. Netanyahu against that, and so there is a big difference between them. Hamas refusing; they don't think they are under pressure. They think Israel more is under pressure. So, and they talk about Rafah also. There's a problem because Israel is going to Rafah because Mr. Netanyahu made his plans clear. He's going to Rafah because he wants to achieve what he calls complete victory over Hamas. And the Hamas, like, against all of that, even the warning of international parties like, United States and Egypt and other countries. So there is a problem between them. There is big gap between them.
So they're already in Rafah. They're already attacking Rafah. It's not a full-scale offensive. So what have been the flashpoints in this conflict? So we've had Rafah, the West Bank, the occupied West Bank. What else has been going on?
There is other places like, and these are the attempts by the Egypt, Qatar, United States and other parties in order to contain the conflict, because there is some attacks by the Islamic resistance in Iraq, which a coalition formed after 7th of October. So they launched some drones against Haifa and other places in Israel. There is other, like Houthis fired 3 plastic missiles against like a British oil tanker, and it was reported and confirmed it have like minor damage, but still affecting the freedom of navigation in the Red Sea. So, and there is also on the Lebanon side. So there is many flashpoints beside Rafah and beside West Bank. There are more arrests, more clashes between the Palestinian and the Israeli forces. So the problem is to go out of control. And this is a whole attempt by Mr. Blinken, who's coming next week to the region, and other countries like Egypt, Qatar, and the United States. They're trying very hard in order to contain the conflict and achieve a ceasefire, because the death toll in Gaza is huge.
Okay. Saeed, thank you very much indeed. Saeed Shehata.